Hello and welcome back to this channel. Today, all we're basically going to be doing is talking about my number one 8 LEGO categories to invest in for 2024. But before I start talking about everything, please subscribe, hit the bell notification on all so start video, and like this video. Let's start this video. So, basically, I'm going to be talking about all these categories: Harry Potter, Architecture, Jurassic Park, Speed Champions, 8 different categories. But to start off with the video, let's go ahead and talk about the Taj Mahal. So, for 2024, there are 2 LEGO Architecture LEGO sets that are supposed to retire: the Singapore and the Taj Mahal. To be honest, I have not gotten any copies of the Taj Mahal because I'm kind of waiting for it to go like 30 to 40% off before I grab a few copies, but I'll probably be grabbing definitely a few. I have the Singapore one wherever my hand is, right back there, right there. I have 1 copy. So I did get it like 20% off, I think. That was back when I first started, so I'll probably be looking for some better deals on that. But yeah, so this one has a lot to offer. There's a lot of detail. It's actually pretty cheap. There's a big one exactly like this, but it's extremely big. I feel like there's a lot of detail in this, even though it's really small. There's 2,022 pieces for $120 for Legos. That is really good. But if you look closely into it, those pieces are really small. 2,000 pieces can go pretty far with a Lego set, but for architecture, 10,000 pieces won't be super significant. Now, Harry Potter. There are a lot of Harry Potter Lego sets that are supposed to retire, but the one Lego set that stuck out to me was the Weasley's Wizard Wheeze thing, Diagon Alley one. There's the giant one with 4 shops. This one's in it. It's a little bit different, a little bit of a downgrade kind of, in my opinion. But out of all the Harry Potter ones, I feel like this one's really, really good. If I'm a big fan of Harry Potter, I've seen the movies probably 200 times, every single one of them. I really like this. I've been to Universal, saw this, I was like, wow, that's really, really cool. That was back when I first started. When I saw that, I was like, okay, that might be the Lego set I'm going to invest in. And then I have 2 copies of these. I've used mostly insider's points on this to just get them pretty much free. Really, really helpful. Now, there are a lot. I'm going to talk about Harry Potter just a little bit more. If you guys are wondering, this is not the only one I'm investing in. There's a lot of other Harry Potter ones, but this is number 1 on my list. If you guys want me to cover that in a different video, please comment that down. And then now let's go ideas. Now, in my opinion, the ideas category are the main 200 and up Lego sets I'm planning to invest in. Even though I said I'm gonna probably be talking about my number 1 choice in all these, there's a few categories that I'll be talking about a few sets. Tales of the Space Age, I'll probably be investing in a few of those. If I can get it for like 40 to 50% off, I'll probably grab a few copies. The Office is supposed to retire. Not a big fan of it. It came out, they announced it was gonna retire about 3-4 months ago when they took up a lot of the Star Wars Lego sets. So this one's supposed to retire. This is like probably the top 10 on my list. I think it's super, super cool. The Globe, I have a copy right next to my head, up there, wherever my finger is pointing, up there. The A-frame cabin, one of my favorite ideas sets. It just looks super, super good. I think there might be one more. I could be wrong. The Jurassic Quartet is supposed to retire. I probably won't grab a few copies. I'll probably grab 1 or 2. Even though some of these Lego sets are a little bit cheaper than others, some of them I won't pick up. It really depends on how much you're planning to invest in Lego investing. So like, even like, for example, like this Lego set, I really like this, but some of the Lego sets you kind of have to sacrifice and just not invest in it. You just have to take it off your list, invest in the ones that you think will do good. I really want to invest in this one. I actually have one on that shelf right there. probably will just stick with that one. Even though it's really cool, it's had a 4-year shelf life. Back to this, I've seen this go on a few deals. If it can go 30% off, I'll probably grab a copy. But looking at like Amazon and a ton of like other places that sell it, like Amazon, the sales aren't super high. Some of the ones I kind of look at to like figure out what I'm gonna invest in is the demand on Amazon, because Amazon shows what it is. Now let's go with Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park has a ton of them. Personally, the Jurassic movies, Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, pretty much my favorite movie. Really, really love them. I've There's just a ton to invest in. That's kind of like the big one that's supposed to retire this year. This one, I feel like the Discovery is really cool, but for $80, I really, really feel like that's insanely overpriced. If I can get that for 40% off, I'll probably grab a few copies because it's still really cool. Then, this is kind of like the other big one that's supposed to retire. I won't be surprised if they kind of keep one and take one off the list. I kind of feel like they might take this one off the retirement list for this year and kind of move it to 2025. But I'll probably be investing in this one and this one because they go on deals a lot. Like I've seen them on 20% off, 25% off. I haven't seen them 30% off yet, but they're small, they're cheap, they're easy to invest in. I'll probably grab a few copies. Really, really like that one and really, really like that one. Plus, the really iconic scenes in the very first Jurassic Park. This one's supposed to retire the blue and beta Velociraptor capture. I like it. Personally, I don't think the demand in the secondary market will be as high as the others, but I might grab a copy. I did end up getting one of a few copies of those. Well, I guess one, not a few. I'll probably be building that because, to be honest, I don't really know when it's gonna retire. I don't really think it will retire till like 2 years. But now let's go Speed Champion. Speed Champion is a major category for like small Lego investors that want to just kind of make like a small profit. Buy the Lego set, it retires, keep it for like 3 or 4 months, maybe a year, and then sell it. Personally, I grabbed pretty much 2 copies of every single Lego set that is supposed to retire this year. I'm assuming probably 1 or 2 of those will be taken off the list. To be honest, I'm not seeing any that are supposed to retire on the list yet. This one's supposed to retire. I really like this one. Personally, I bought one of them. Or now that I think about it, I don't really know if it's supposed to retire. But let's just go down. So, the Lamborghini, the sales on that are like $6,000 a month on Amazon. So I definitely had to grab 2 copies of those. Probably will be one of the major Legos Speed Champion of the year. And it looks really, really good. This one's supposed to retire too. It's $25, a little bit more expensive than the Lamborghini, but it still looks really good. This is supposed to retire. I kind of have a funny story with this Lego set. So, I ordered it from Amazon during the Prime deals. They shipped it in the bag. When it got here, it looked like an elephant stepped on it. I mean, seriously, like, the entire box was crushed. So, I had to send that back to Amazon and try to get another one of those. So once they sent the second one, that was even worse. That looked like a semi ran over it. I did order 2 of them. What's funny is one came perfect. It looked really, really good. But the other one looked like someone just sat on it. It just didn't look good. So, those are kind of like the main ones. I know this is supposed to retire. I grabbed 2 copies of those. I think that's supposed to retire this year. I could be wrong. But it's still really good. I want to talk about one of the new ones that came out. This Lego set looks really, really good. At my local Lego store, they look really, really good. They have them on display. I've looked at them a few times. They just look really, really good. Now, let's go with the number 1 category, Star Wars. They keep making a lot of new ones. For example, like the Star Destroyer. They've made multiple copies, a lot of copies, too many copies. I really don't find it worth the investment to buy a few copies and then I just don't think it'll be able to make that much money. I feel like the only thing in this Lego set that is worth getting is the minifigures. The Dark Millennium Falcon, personally, I kind of feel like it's a little bit weird. I don't really know if it's in any other movies, but if it is, I haven't really watched Star Wars in pretty much a few years. But let's go down here. I feel like the playable droid builder thing, that looks interesting. I'm not going to say much about it, but for this month, I seriously think this is one of my favorite Lego sets they've ever done. It just looks really, really good. Now, back to the video. I just realized I was getting off track, but this one, there's little ones, big ones, and just mega sets. So, I might have scrolled over it. I'm just scrolling through and I'm going to talk about stuff. I know that Chewbacca is supposed to retire this year. It's on pretty much every single Lego investors do not invest in category this year. So, here's one. This one just came out. I have a Brickheads category coming up in probably like 2 minutes, so I'm not going to go into detail about that one. The X-Wing Starfighter looks really good. I don't really know if it's on the list. The Luke Skywalker's Land Speeder looks really, really good. To be honest, I don't really think there's much demand for it though. The little one isn't going for a lot. They did the little one a long time ago. It just doesn't look great. The diorama looks really, really good. I actually have a copy up there. Really, really like it. I'll probably grab like a few more copies. I really think they'll do good. This battle pack looks really, really good. I actually grabbed a few copies of them, and then it was taken off the retirement list. A little bit mad about it, but it's still fine. At the end of the day, it's still gonna retire eventually. This battle pack is one of the best battle packs I've ever seen. Even though it is $30, it still has a lot to offer than the other ones. So, I'm gonna go down. Here are some more. The diorama, this one's kind of like my number one choice out of the two. This one's supposed to retire too. I have another one up there. I got 20% off on Amazon. I'm pretty sure it's always been 20% off, but still good. You can get it for like 80. The Brickhead, or not the Brickhead, the helmet, Princess Leia helmet. There we go. Looks really, really good. On a lot of Lego investors lists, that's pretty much number one. I'm gonna kind of go through it a little bit. This Brickhead, the Darth Vader helmet, was on the list. I actually did grab a copy. It's up there. It looks really good. It was taken off. A little bit mad about it because I did grab a copy, so now it's just wasted space on the shelf. So, the Cody Commander, Clone Commander Cody helmet looks insanely good. I will definitely be grabbing a few copies. It's one of my favorites out of all of them. I'm going to kind of go a little bit faster. The Rebel base looks really good. I feel like it's not going to have that much demand. The Mech, it's interesting. I haven't done much research about it. It's just interesting. The Holiday Diorama. I actually went to my local Lego store a few months ago, or pretty much it was about a month and a half ago. I did grab 3 of them. I was doing some research. I feel like Lego's still making them, or there's just a lot of copies still going around. So they're still selling them in my Lego store. I don't know if they're selling them in other ones, but don't really like the sound of that. I just figured it was on the shelf, and then once I bought it, I heard the Lego people, Lego workers, there's the word, the Lego workers working there were saying they keep getting new supply, which got me a little bit nervous, like, oh gosh, I hope they don't re-announce that it's going to come back in stock for the season. Now that I've been talking a long time, let's go ahead and talk about the 7th theme, Indiana Jones. There's 3 Lego sets. All of them are on the list to retire. Personally, they're not number 1 on my list. They're not on my top 10, probably down in the low 30s on my list. I still feel like they look really good. Personally, I kind of feel like Indiana Jones is a dying industry, so I feel like there's not as much demand around these 3 Lego sets. I personally feel like I'll probably be trying to get my hands on one of the Temple of the Golden, whatever. Looks really good. I like it. if I can get it 30 to 40% off, I'll definitely be grabbing a few. But right now, I'm not going to pay $150 for it when I feel like it's not originally going to be doing great. The Escape from the Lost Tomb. I don't know really what I was going to say that first time, but I feel like this is pretty much almost number one. This is number one just because it looks really good. This is almost number one by like 0.1%. This one really, really, really looks good. I really like it. To be honest, it might actually, for like price and what you get out of it, it's probably the number one Lego set I'll be investing in the most of. I'll probably try to get my hands on maybe 2 to 4 copies. I don't feel like it's going to do great. I might try to get it 40% off just to make some of my money back just in case it doesn't do good. The fighter plane chase, I feel like it's a really iconic scene. I might pick up a few copies if I can get it for like $25. Now, my number one theme I'm investing in is BrickHeadz. I have a huge shelf right there, right where I'm pointing. Ton of them. I really, really think BrickHeadz are going to do good. I know a lot of the Lord of the Rings BrickHeadz are supposed to retire this year, so I've got my hands on a few of them. The Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Darth Vader one looks really, really good. I really like it. I personally picked up 2 copies, and I'm planning to get a lot more. I know that even Wally was on the retirement list. I don't think it's on it anymore. To be honest, I really don't think it's on it because they took it off. It was on, I could be wrong, it was on like Amazon. No, it was on Lego.com for a while, and then it went out of stock. Then on like the website I was looking at, it was saying it was gonna retire. Then I got a little bit scared, like, oh gosh, should it just retire? Because at the moment it didn't. I didn't pick up any copies. I got a little bit scared. Then it went back in stock, seriously, within like an hour. So I was like, okay, I still have time. And then pretty much 2 months later, it was on the retirement list. It was on the it was on the Disney category for pretty much a month. It was on the BrickHeadz category. It was taken off. One of them didn't have it. One of them said it was. So I was a little bit confused in that category. Got me a little bit confused. In that area, I picked up 1 copy. Then I happened to think about it. Wait a second. I think it will be taken off because there's just so many Disney ones. I know that Sonic and Hedgehog one is definitely going to be retiring. I really like it. I'll probably be picking up a few of them. I actually have a copy over there. It might be taken off because there are a lot supposed to. I really like the Stitch one. It looks really good. And now this one is my number one BrickHeadz to invest in. It looks insanely good. There's just so much hype around it. If I can get it with points or I can get it like 30% off, I'll probably be grabbing like 10 copies. This is going to be the end of the video, so please subscribe, hit the bell notification on an awesome start video. Like this video. I really, really appreciate you guys watching today's video, and I'll see you guys later today or whenever you guys watch this channel next. Peace.